All right, Tesla News Tonight here. It's time for all of the reviews on Google Maps that I read about this Tesla Supercharger location in Boonton, New Jersey. By the way, on my way here, I really needed to fuel up. I needed to get my gas for my Honda bump, and it cost me $36.79. I was nearing empty, but still, $36.79. That's a lot of dough, bro. So this first review is by JJ. Tried a few stalls, couldn't get more than 35 to 40 kilowatts with only one other car there. Dunkin' and Jersey Mike's and a decent bagel shop in this lot, like I mentioned in my last video. Go up the hill to a local spot for great pizza. So kind of a mixed review there. I'm gonna see, was that helpful or not helpful? We'll see by the end, right? Who's this now? This is by John S. John S. says, first time renting a Tesla. It's a great place to grab a quick charge. Give it a try. You decide. Okay, again, kind of in the middle there, right? Little uncertainty, especially because there's the emoji of uncertainty at the end of John S.'s review there. This one's by Amy. Amy says, this location is super convenient to the highway. It also has a lot of options if you need food or something else to do while charging. There's even a grocery store nearby. I mentioned there's an Acme. This is by WB. WB says, literally right at end of 287 exit ramp. Many stores nearby, as well as a convenient Dunkin'. No waiting, stalls about half full, no issues charging at about 120 kWs. So WB was at 120 kilowatts. Was that helpful? Let's keep going here. This one's by Harshad. Harshad, emphasis on the harsh, said, slow charging! There is just another Tesla parked here amongst 10 charging stations, and my car is charging only at 36 kilowatts at 116 miles an hour, as compared to what Tesla claims as 150 kilowatts max. Well, I guess 150 is the max. Anyway, that was a little telling there, Harshad. The charging area is well lit, with easy access to Starbucks, Dunkin', Jersey Mike's, sandwich shop, and an Acme supermarket. Also, it's less than a mile off the I-287 exit. That is about right. It is just about a mile, maybe 0.8 of a mile or so off of the 287 exit. Not quite right off of the exit like everyone was saying. Some people said you could see it off of the highway. Perhaps at night you could. I know that these Tesla Supercharger locations are usually very well lit and usually have that bright red light that they have here, and at night it looks it's visually appealing, let's just say, on top of the location and on top of the supercharging, meaning a fast electric vehicle charge. Well, a fast Tesla charge. This is by Derek, who is a pretty avid reviewer apparently. Derek says, I've been here before. Not much to eat other than the Dunkin'. Well, I don't know. Maybe Derek is talking about breakfast, but the direction I'm looking at, there's a deli on the corner. If you were parked in this lot, you'd have no issue walking right across the street. There's not even a lot because you only have to deal with the cars and trucks that are entering and exiting this parking lot. So it's an easy little, tiny little street to cross. The parking lot even kind of loops around to the other parking lot there, if you could see what I'm looking at. Anyway, all I'm trying to say is there's a deli on the corner over there. I'm pointing right now to another deli that's in the actual parking lot. The Tesla Supercharger location is there. So across the parking lot, would be, your Jersey Mike, the Dunkin', all that stuff. Behind me, probably like almost directly behind my head, would be the Acme, which has the pharmacy and the Starbucks. So you have your pick even of, high-end coffee brands or whatever. Well, they're not. I don't even know if either one of them is high-end, especially not anymore. Full disclosure, Tesla News Tonight, your humble narrator here, did divest completely out of Starbucks. I had a few shares of Starbucks. Whew! It kind of dodged a bullet or a series of bullets there. Speaking of bullets, did you see what they did to the Tesla Cybertruck? Elon Musk shot that thing up with a Tommy gun. 74 bullets apparently in that sucker. I digress. So I don't know what kind of food Derek is eating by saying that, there's not really much to eat around here. He still rated this location 3 stars. Tough to say, right? Tough to say. This is by GCS. Easy in and out off 287 south. Little more complicated going north. Which way did I get here? I went north. Okay, maybe that's why. A little more complicated getting here north. And they have a Jersey Mike's and Stop and Shop in the same parking lot. I didn't see the Stop and Shop. Maybe that was the Acme, or maybe there's one around here that I haven't seen. There could be. Like I said, there's a bank, there's a cleaners, a mail place that does special deals, I don't know, on mail stuff. A couple of smoke shops, one out on this corner, a deli on this corner, and one over here. So you got a smoke shop and a deli this way, a smoke shop and a deli that way, a place to get sandwiches. I'm sure the deli opens, at least one of these 2 delis opens early, so Derek could have probably had a nicer breakfast than from Dunkin', at least my estimation. I'd rather go local anyway, and I'd rather support any small business that I could. And the Cleaners is also local. That's a Boonton Cleaners. So I guess this GCS person is probably right. It is probably just a little bit more complicated getting to this location when you were heading north than south, but no big deal there. This one is by Ankit. Ankit gave this 5 stars. Enough charging stations, adequately spaced, and almost always has a spot available. Like when I pulled up here, 9 of them were taken up. 9 of them were taken up. I thought they were all taken up, and I saw that the third, when I was looking at all of the parked Teslas that were charging, the third from my left was the only one that was empty. But since then, people have been pulling in and out. Let's see now. There were 9, 6 of them have left. And I've only been on this location in total, pulling up for just an hour. Right now, there's a white Tesla Model Y that's getting ready to pull in. She's already spotted the location, and she knows where she's going to be going. She's going to charge up and go who knows where from here. I also see by the look of her license plate that she's an out-of-stater. So Ankit's talking about there being enough charging, adequately spaced, and almost always has a spot available. He talks about the Dunkin' nearby where you can grab a coffee, get a sip while you wait, or you can even go somewhere else nearby. I mentioned a couple of the locations. Now, let's see. Is Emily going to be helpful here? Emily only rated this Tesla Supercharger location 2 stars. 2-star Emily says, never getting about 50 kilowatts, 210 miles an hour. Being the only car here charging. Tried 2 different stalls as well. Something is up with this station. Didn't used to be a problem. Try to skip for now, if possible. Something seems a little bit fishy about this one. That I'll have to say. No, the woman that I just saw that pulled in from this direction has come around and she's backing into her spot now. And I don't know if that's someone she knows or whatever, but they're having a bit of a conversation. I think she's having a bit of trouble just backing into the spot. That's about the only complaint I would have. Like, oh man, I gotta back in every time. I guess I have to get used to backing in every time. I go to a Tesla Supercharger at least. Monica here says at least 2 stalls don't work. 2B being one of them. So I'm going to check out 2B later. We used 1A and it was slow. It was crowded, so maybe that's the issue. Monica goes on to say, but we've used these before and not had an issue. She gave this location 3 stars. So this was one time where somebody had one issue. So Monica here, might be onto something. I wish I had my pen on me. I really need to circle that. I wish I was wearing my work shirt, because some of my work shirts have pockets for pens right here on the sleeve. I wear my pen on my sleeve just like I wear my heart on my sleeve. And I'm wondering, what am I going to do with like this whole area here? Am I going to like write stuff in this area, or is this just going to be like dead space or whatever? I know this isn't the best kind of situation, but I'm trying everything I got, and I'm reading all of these reviews and I'm breaking them down for you. And I want, as you get a nice live look at this Tesla Supercharger location, and I don't know, I'm not really seeing much trouble here. The woman that was that just pulled up in the white Tesla here, she's charging. I don't know, going through her stuff, just doing her thing, just hanging out, chilling, whatever, no big deal. I don't think she's going to be paying $36.79 for her charge today, whether she gets to full or not. And I have to get to full. I can't I can't just charge my gas tank to 80% and be done with it. Of course, I'm not charging, but I'm making an analogy. This is by Dubose. Dubose rates this Tesla Supercharger here in Boonton, New Jersey, 5 stars. Dubose said, "Fast charging cars suits me fine. I didn't have to stand in line." Oh, I like that. This is by Hedge L. Hedge L, who is a local guide, says, "Fast Supercharger, places to eat and shop." Fast Supercharger, places to eat and shop, says Hedge. This is by Jim. Jim, another local guide, another 5-star rating, says, "Never too busy and free charging, so who can complain?" And then he goes on to say, "Mine has free supercharging." So good on you, Jim. Good job for Jim getting that free supercharging. I'm going to have to figure that out myself one day. Another local guide, this time a 4-star rating, goes by the name of JN. This local guide named JN, 4-star JN, says, "Convenient V2 charger. Slow and may have to share power with your adjacent vehicle compared to the new V3 chargers." Let's see if that turns out to be true or not. There was a Supercharger location that I went to where someone actually screenshotted their Tesla app and put it into the Google Maps review, showing exactly how fast their charger was going. I don't have it on me now, but I'll make sure to get to that one because that's an important one. And that specific gentleman made sure to post it in 2 sections. So whether we're looking at reviews or wherever the heck else it works on Google Maps, I end up doing the same thing on Google Maps because, not to get more hits or anything like that. Well, to get more hits, if that means I'm getting people to see what I'm going out for them to see in the first place, right? I'm not doing it for no reason. I want to share. I want to scream from the rooftops and let everyone know the truth, at least as how I see it. Shoot, Tesla News Tonight here, your humble narrator, doesn't even own an electric vehicle. At least not yet. So keep your eyes on the live Supercharger location. It's looking pretty lively. People in and out. I don't see any complaints. I'm hardly even seeing people have really get out of their vehicles to shop, which is kind of weird to me. I can only confirm that one person so far, one of these Tesla owners, went inside the shop. Whether somebody, when I pulled up, was already shopping and came back from shopping, let their charge finish and left, I don't know. So I read the comment from JN. 4 stars, but still complaining about version 2 charging as opposed to V3 chargers. So I don't know. This one's by Michael. Michael, another local guide. Apparently there are a lot of local guides here on Google Maps. Michael rated it 5 stars, and he said this: easy off, easy on. Not so crowded that you couldn't get a full fast charge. Easy off, easy on. Not so crowded that you couldn't get a full fast charge. Now, Akshaya says, another local guide, Akshaya, 5 stars. Easy to spot from the road. Lot of shops nearby to pass your time. But like I just said, a lot of people here are just passing their time in their car, kind of looking at their phone. I'm kind of wondering why they're not like using the screen, why they're not like, you know, filming their own Tesla news tonight, so to speak, and, you know, shouting about the efficacy of Tesla superchargers and the efficacy of Tesla the Teslas and the superchargers. It's an ecosystem. You know, the cars have to be able to take the charge, and the superchargers have to be able to produce that charge. And not only a charge, a fast charge. People are moving in and out of this place. I'm telling you, they are. Now, let's see. We have a 1-star review. This person, Darshan, this is the second review by this person named Darshan. Darshan, a year ago, rated 1 star to this Tesla supercharger, saying, none of the ports were working today. Pathetic people left the charging cords on the ground. I wonder what time of day this was. Maybe I'll come back here at night. By the look of this place, I could see that maybe it's possible. But, you know, what kind of people would really leave behind the charging cords, leave the charging cords on the ground? That I'm not really sure of today. And then to make the claim that none of the ports were working on that given day, well, maybe at least not in that given moment, right? I've been here now for just over an hour, and I haven't seen one charger hit the ground yet. So we'll see. I'll keep my eyes peeled. I'll keep my ears to the ground in case I hear one of the cords possibly hit the ground, something like that. Now, this is by Henry. Oh, I have to read the full name. Henry Bear. I'm not making fun of the name or anything like that. It's an inside thing. Don't worry about it. Henry Bear rates this 5 stars. And this was 3 years ago, a 5-star rating. Supermarket and fast food in the parking lot. Never seen half the superchargers occupied. Well, nowadays, these superchargers will get occupied, but it seems like they're still working just fine. Nobody's complaining. I don't see, anyone shake. I haven't seen one person. I'm trying to make sure I see everyone getting in and out of their Teslas. I haven't seen anyone rolling their eyes, shaking their head, huffing and puffing, complaining to anyone else. I haven't seen any arguing going on of any kind. I haven't seen anyone sitting inside of their Teslas, while their vehicle's charging, looking disgruntled. They're just kind of chilling. They're looking at their phones or whatever. That's pretty much all I'm seeing. There was one car where there's a conversation going on in the car. Like, life rolls on, supercharging rolls on too. So Henry Bear's talking about the supermarkets, the fast food, right in the parking lot. You got more across the street, down the road. Apparently there's a Stop and Shop, unless that is now the Acme. I don't know. If there's also a Stop and Shop, you got yourself 2 grocery stores. That's pretty good. And this person, Henry, has never seen half of the superchargers occupied. I've been here for over an hour and I've seen that already. But again, this review, a 5-star review, was 3 years ago. So, of course, 3 years ago, these Tesla supercharger locations were not going to be quite as busy. You think come 2024 and 2025, these Tesla supercharger locations are going to be more busy? They might end up being more busy, right? Because of Ford, GM, Stellantis, all the others. What was the newest one? Jaguar or whatever. All these new companies are going to get on board, or Toyota, they're in the mix as well. I think Tesla's ready. I think they know what's to come, and I think that they're working super hard on their supercharger locations. Now we got Lewis Q. Lewis Q, a year ago, a local guide, went with a 4-star rating saying, couple of broken stalls. First time I've seen that happen at a Tesla charge station. But still a 4-star review. So a little bit confusing on that one, because if there were a couple of broken stalls, but I could see maybe why the person said, well, things happen, nothing's perfect. They didn't say that they were unable to get a charge. A couple is 2. We could maybe stretch that to 3. Maybe they tried 2 or 3 chargers and they didn't work, or, broken? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Now I'm going to look further into this and see if there are any other kind of reviews or statements where there are any kind of broken stalls or anything like that. But I've seen 9 out of these 10 used here today so far, and they all seem to be working just fine. Robert rated this 5 stars a year ago. Robert said, super fast charge and great location. Mike, another local guide, rated this 5 stars, and Mike said, worked like a charm, nearby food walkable. And that's basically what I was saying. If it's not just right here in the parking lot or down at one end of the parking lot or another, which that can't be too long of a walk for you. If you can walk, you should be able to walk a parking lot. There are always going to be certain circumstances, but seriously, I think Mike is right. And when I remember doing my research on this place, I didn't get to write down all of these notes and all that stuff, but I do remember that, even just around the corner or up the block or whatever, there was even another place. I think it was maybe the place that one of the reviewers here was talking about, with that local pizza shop nearby. And, if someone is mentioning a local pizza shop, you got to hope it was pretty good, or at least it was good when they went there, right? So Mike said it worked like a charm, and he mentioned the same thing I did, all that nearby food in walking distance. Right there. You can see it. You can get there. Here's Joel. Joel is another local guide, and this was just a year ago. Joel said, fast charger and easy access from the highway. At least fairly easy access from the highway, Joel. I might say there was this four-way intersection where honestly I could see there being some serious traffic, because one street, your cross street, was residential area. That's where you were going to get your heaviest traffic. However, the way I was coming, like one of the earlier reviewers said, when you're coming from the north, you're going to be going this way. You're going to be crossing that heavier traffic. You have the stop sign. They have the right-of-way, which really right-of-way doesn't exist, but that's another story altogether. So I see it being a kind of hard time, especially at certain times of the day. I was at that stop sign for about 45 seconds, which, I'm a pretty patient person. That's an understatement. So, easy enough access from the highway, but at the same time, you could be slowed down, like the one reviewer said, especially if you're coming from the north. So that was a very good point to be made. This was a little bit more recent now, 4 months ago, by Raju, known as Rararu. Rararu said, great service. Well, there is no service necessary. At least for most people. That one woman did need a little bit of assistance backing into her spot. I think a couple of people since have pulled up. I don't recognize those 2 vehicles at the far end being there earlier. But again, those people were just pulling in and pulling out. There's a gentleman now who's there. I think maybe he's plugging in at the current moment. So, Rararu, what are you talking about? Great service. Were you the great servant? Or I don't know. I had to read it though, right? All right, we got 2 more pages of reviews here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more reviews. So we have 7 more reviews to read. All right, we're doing great here. Oh no, a 1-star review by a local guide named Cassius. Now, a year ago, Cassius said, few chargers were not working. All right, so there's a bit of a story developing there. I kind of wonder if perhaps maybe some people just kind of saw the writing on the wall, so to speak, the other negative reviews, and if they wanted to write a negative review, they just kind of did it in that cookie cutter way and kind of copied others. I'm not really sure. That woman from out of state that pulled in already pulled out, so I don't know what that's all about. I'd really like to know what that was. She did just pull into 2 lanes and make that turn. That was the honk of the horn that you may or may not have heard. She cut that guy off, in other words, because she used 2 lanes to make her turn. So maybe that person was not the best, because she was also the one that, located her charger location and then had trouble backing in, got help, eventually made it, and now is already on her way out. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so we go from that 1-star Cassius review about a few chargers not working to Natalie giving it a 5-star review, and Natalie said, great location, nice and clean. Just like her review. And kind of just like how I'm seeing it out here. I mean, really, being that it's been rainy, of course, it's Saturday out here in the sticks, and at least in my neck of the woods, it's like it rains every weekend. Kind of like on cue, kind of like they're booking it, but that's another topic, which I'll get into either on Spotify or Substack. So Natalie's saying, great location, nice and clean review by Natalie. Blue Skies, another local guide. Blue Skies gives it 4 stars and says, convenient to some shopping. Okay, fair. So basically not perfect, high standards by Blue Skies. That's what I'm getting there. But okay, still a helpful review for sure. Now we got George. George is another local guide, and George said, brand new, very convenient. ! 5-star review by George. Brand new, very convenient. Now we got our last 3 reviews to read here. This first of the 3 here by Christopher, another local guide. Christopher rated it 4 stars, and he said, restroom and something to eat at Dunkin'. A simple review, not quite as helpful as the last simple review, especially because we're talking about a Tesla Supercharger location, and it's understandable, that you might need to use a restroom, and you might need to eat something and somewhere to eat it. So it's okay to include that, but, the charging inclusion is also nice to get as well. This is by Suraya. Suraya says, Main Street, Boonton, 5 stars. It's a local review. Okay, Suraya. Now, this is a very confusing one. This was actually the only... Someone's backing in. I heard the ever so slight sound of a Tesla backing up. This person named Pat, a year ago, rated this Tesla Supercharger location in Boonton, New Jersey, just 1 star, which is as low as you can go. Pat said, not charging. Not charging. I have to question this post, and now any and all negative posts in these reviews because of this one. Not charging. What's not charging? Okay, the Tesla Supercharger that you selected is not charging. We can assume that much, right? How many did you try, though? Because, hey, things happen, right? One could maybe always be down, right? So you got 10 of these Tesla Superchargers, maybe 9 of them work 100% of the time, but 100% of the time, one of them is always down. I think, so that person that just pulled up in a Tesla actually left. The other person that pulled up stayed there, and someone else is just pulling in now, and there was that other guy, he's still pacing back and forth to his car. So I don't know. You'll get to see in the background, and maybe you'll be able to tell me. So I think we had a lot of helpful reviews and a lot of reviews that made it kind of questionable. You know, a great pizza spot not far away, but the person complained that maybe the charge wasn't strong enough. You know, maybe what I'll have to do is follow some of these reviewers, right? That's what you have to do sometimes. So I'm going to have to follow JJ and see. But at the same time, JJ, I didn't see, I was having a bit of printer issues, and I didn't see what JJ actually rated this between 1 and 5 stars. So that I don't know. But, you know, JJ talks about trying a few stalls and couldn't get any to work at over 40 kilowatts. But then talks about it still being a great location, including a pizza place nearby. So, I don't really know about that. You know, super convenient location, first time charging and it was good. You know, never more than half of the chargers being used, but I've already seen 9 out of 10 be used. You know, this person here is talking about slow charging, saying Tesla claims 150 kilowatts of power when they only had 36 kilowatts of power. Maybe they were reading it wrong. At 116 miles an hour of charge. I don't know. Maybe they're confusing that 116 with the possible 150 max. I don't know. But then they still go on to talk about all the food and grocery shopping that's nearby as well. You have Derek here, who was saying that there's really nothing to eat other than Dunkin'. I'm assuming he meant for breakfast. So maybe the 2 delis that are here, maybe out of these 2 delis, neither one of them opens in the morning. I don't know. I have a hard time believing that. It was GCS that talked about the one, you know, glaring location flaw that I see, and that is just a little bit more of a hardship coming from north if you've come from 287 south. Okay. Ankit talked about, you know, how there were enough chargers and they were spaced out. I mean, they all have their own space. They're not really actually spaced out at all. But he talked about how it's a great location. There's food and grocery shopping nearby as well. You know, then you have someone saying that they tried 2 different charging locations and they can only get about 50 kilowatts. And they guided 2 years ago to try to skip this location if you could. But also that person's English wasn't very well. They didn't really do a good job editing, at least. So that, you know, that kind of means something. Because of Monica here, I have to check out stall 2B and see if 2B is working. But she did use 1A and said it was slow. You see what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, okay, a bunch of people are talking about, because this was only a year ago now, Monica said this. So she had at least about 3 years to kind of read all of the negative reviews. And if she wanted to, she could just kind of give her cookie cutter negative review. Is that what she did, though? Monica, did you do that? Please answer Tesla News tonight. I would just like to know. It's okay to have fun and games and mess around with people. It's okay, I guess, to, you know, give a bad review. But then again, you rated it 3 stars. It was crowded, so maybe that's the issue. But we've used these before and not had an issue. I mean, I guess if you're dealing with electricity, and it might end up being the same at gas stations, right? Like, if everyone's fueling up, if everyone's charging up, then maybe just expect, you know, there to be a little bit slower times than normal. You know, it should still be fast compared to the alternative chargers I see, anywhere from 6 to 7.7 kilowatts. Like, I've seen 6.48 and 7.7 just yesterday at alternative EV charging locations, where you got this Tesla Supercharger at 150 max. Okay, so let's say that the average is 90. It's still better than 10 times the alternative. Fast charging, fast supercharger, and places to eat. Never too busy. Fast charging, so you can't complain. And gym gets his free supercharging. A 4-star review, but a complaint that it's not version 3, it's only version 2. So, I mean, it's still 4 stars. 4-star movies are pretty good. So, easy off, easy on, fast full charge, easy to spot it off the road, which, and nearby shops. I agree with the second half, but not the first half of that one. A 1-star review, none of the ports were working. I doubt that quite severely. Maybe they went to this location without seeing that it was down. Maybe it was actually noted, like in the Tesla app, that it was down, and the person maybe didn't use their Tesla app, so they didn't get that news or information. I don't know. It's possible. Supermarkets and fast food, fast charging, and this person's never seen half of the chargers even occupied, but that was 3 years ago. Couple of broken stalls. First time I've seen that happen at a Tesla charge location. So I'm assuming maybe that's more of a nighttime thing. Let's see, maybe I'll get to come here one time at night. Maybe I'll come back tonight. Super fast charge and a great location, worked like a charm. Nearby food, fast charging, easy access from the highway. Great service, which I don't understand. Great service, but still a positive review. Maybe I'll just go by the star rating. A 5-star rating by Roo. And then a 1-star rating. Few chargers were not working. Okay, but did yours work? Maybe this person gave up. And then a 5-star review right after that. Great location, nice and clean. Convenient to some shopping. 4 stars, 5 stars. Brand new, very convenient. 4 stars. Restroom and something to eat at Dunkin'. This guy didn't even mention the charger because he's not even worried about it, maybe. Maybe that's why. Tesla News Tonight. 5-star review. And he just mentioned where the place was. And then you had that one bad review by Pat in the end. 1 star. Not charging. So that's why I have to question that negative review and all of the other negative reviews. I need my pen. Hold on a second. I'm doing this because I want to do this for all of you. Oh, you know what? I have a pen right here alongside my notebook. I couldn't bring all of my stuff with me because that would have been quite, just would have been burdensome, and I wouldn't want to lose anything here. I'm actually going to research. I'm writing it down now. Write this down. You like writing things down. Who was that? I could tell you. It was on a Monday night television program. You like writing things down. Okay, anyway. Research reviewers, especially the negative ones, right? From this location. And I'll put a little box next to it. And of course, that box represents yet another to-do for me. I have to end this video with all of you. I wish you all peace, love, and prosperity. What do you think about this Tesla Supercharger location? Someone went in the one charger that somebody's charging at the one charging location that I didn't see anyone at. It just so happened that to be that way, and someone is parked, and I'm assuming charging right there and now. So great. So I'm going to look into the people that reviewed this, especially the negative reviews, and I'm going to make another video out of that. Whoa, a pickup truck with a cool wrap, stars and stripes. Anyway, like I said, this is Tesla News Tonight. I wish you all peace, love, and prosperity. I'll see you in the next one. There's a lot more to come. Thanks for watching, and like I said, there's a lot more to come. Later.